The projections for the next few years are more like 180,000. And that is a combination of some of the existing policies, state and federal, and some of the effort that usually goes into building homes. And what we're doing with this housing accord is we're bridging the gap between what we expect under business as usual and something closer to 200,000 a year from 2024. So this is an ambitious target. We have built a lot of homes in the past. We're projected at the moment not to build anywhere near 200,000 a year. There's still some in the pipeline now for the next 18 months or so. There's pressures on the industry because of labour shortages and because of building costs. But because we've spent so much time with the building and construction industry talking through our plans here, they have told us that the pipeline starts to trail away around the middle of 2024, and that's our opportunity to work with super, to work with state and local government, and to work with the builders to try and bridge the gap between what we expect and what we need to try and shift the needle when it comes to vacancy rates and rents. But most importantly, we want this economy to be creating jobs and opportunities, but in order for people to grab those jobs and opportunities, they need to be able to live near them. And that's what this policy is all about.
On the superannuation element of that, they will tell you, the whole origins of it was super had one role, and that was to provide the best possible retirement income. So if it's being redirected towards a social good, no matter how admirable that might be, are you not reducing the purpose?
No. Well, another welcome opportunity, thanks Hugh. Of course we're not doing that. What we are doing is by playing a role as the Commonwealth, subsidising the rental return that superannuation funds would receive from making these investments in the national interest, then they would be providing returns for their members. What we're looking for here is a win-win. Strong returns for members and investors, and more affordable homes for people to live near jobs and opportunities. And because we're making a payment to change the attractiveness of these investments, we've budgeted for that on Tuesday night, that will change something from what is a marginal investment to a very attractive investment. And in doing so, we get those win-wins. The government makes a small contribution, the states and local government and territories, they make a contribution when it comes to land release and zoning and in other ways. The building industry says we'll build these homes and make them energy efficient, we'll use Australian apprentices. That's what a win-win-win looks like.
When will the government
question about the women and children from Syria. Sorry, question about the women and children from Syria.
We might go here first and then we'll come to you.
When will the government intervene in the energy market and stop prices getting out of control?
Well, what we're seeing in energy markets is absolute havoc caused by the war in Ukraine. And right around the world, countries are dealing with skyrocketing power prices, and unfortunately, we're no exception to that. So what we've said is Minister Chris Bowen has done a lot of work already with his state and territory counterparts. In the budget, I funded and empowered the regulators to do more in this area. But we've levelled with people and said that our expectation is that we will have to do more here. And so my focus, working closely with the ACCC and working with my ministerial colleagues and the Prime Minister, is to see what we can do to reform the Code of Conduct that applies to pricing in the gas market in particular. We've commissioned some advice from the ACCC. We're working closely with everyone who's involved here. And we understand that high gas prices put a lot of pressure on Australians and on Australian industry. We've made no secret of that fact, and we've also made no secret of the fact that we will try and do more in this area. If there's more that we can responsibly and sensibly do when it comes to gas prices in particular, we will do it.
What about considering emergency powers for, say, resources minister to put a short-term cap on gas prices in the event of the power prices that we're seeing currently?
Well, we're not going to limit our options or narrow down our options. There's a lot of work to do with the states and territories, for example, but also with industries and all parts of this equation. And so I don't want to preempt or unnecessarily limit or narrow our options. We've said that our immediate focus is on that Code of Conduct that applies to gas prices. I've commissioned some advice from the ACCC. I'll work closely with my colleagues and the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to see if we can do more here. My expectation is that if we get the advice that there's more than we can responsibly and sensibly do, then we're likely to do it.